In D&D and similar role-playing systems, it's fun to optimize around an objective. It's fun to optimize around beating a dungeon. It's fun to optimize about beating a monster or a boss. It's very fun to theorycraft and talk to each other about your builds and your ideas on how you'll do this, how you'll beat that, how you'll do in PvP. But how much of that gets used? Well, we can use more and we can get more unique opportunities for this sort of stuff. Say by, in this case, inserting a different, opposite challenge. Usually the challenge is how to get that boss dead. But what if you get the task of getting it alive? Then, even besides you getting a better, much better challenge, because it's much harder to get something alive, and stress that it needs to, otherwise the quest is failed, and it can be some senseless monster. It doesn't have to be a villain, so they care to finish the quest. They don't care about killing it. They care about not killing it in this case. Otherwise the quest fails. This suddenly turns into an expedition. The whole science turns around. They sit down, they need equipment, they need ideas, they need the plans, and they have the time. And you make it so that they naturally have the time, so that they naturally make it an expedition to plan, to think, to figure out. Maybe even this is called up a few levels ahead of time to inform them so that they have time to plan their builds, to tweak and to think and to plan and to plot and to plan the expedition, and then finally to do the expedition. And then, since it's a live creature that they need to keep alive and capture, how much of finickiness, situations and so on can happen, and how much of their builds will be tested and retested without necessarily lethal danger to them, because remember, it's not so much challenging to them to survive as much as it's challenging to them to keep this thing alive and captured and delivered, which is still an additional adventure to, once you have succeeded to do this for a round, can you do it for, many rounds? Can you do it for a couple of days? Can you do it for 2 weeks until it gets back to the town and to the quest giver? That's all filled with possibilities. Say they need to transport it over a ship over sea. That creates all kinds of situations. Say everything is perfect and a storm breaks out and big waves break the mast and the mast cuts the ropes or something like that. And you can high level this, you can make everything magical, you can make encounters more interesting, you can make everything in depth, and then if they succeed to complete this expedition perfectly, they'll know why, say, in that world, a monster hunter is much more appreciated than a sheer novice adventurer. Now that will be a challenge. So when you think that you no longer have challenging stuff for them, just improvise a meta challenge that's opposite, or doesn't have to be opposite, it can be at a 90-degree angle from thus far existing challenges that they planned for. And then glorify it, have fun with it. And adventure, if you thought this was useful or unique, maybe spare me a click and I could see you here next or even every week, because every week I have more of these things for you because I make them myself. I'm M, welcome to dMTable. See you next time. Bye.